frenzy, bring his energy, and bring some value to us. So happy Monday, everybody. As you know, we've got the Monday 5 o'clock Pacific opportunity presentation. Every single Monday at 5 o'clock, you want to make sure that you connect to the opportunity presentation. If you've got guests, promote, get your guests there. Today, right after this, after this, I have a sales meeting. Then after that, I'm going to text and email blast a bunch of realtors, a bunch of prospects, and I'm going to personally message a bunch of people, well, a couple of folks that I want to get on that, because the focus for me is recruiting, selling, and training people to recruit and sell. That is the things that I focus. And by the way, that in itself, for those of you guys looking to build a big business, close a lot of mentor deals, make overrides, that is a golden nugget, believe it or not. Recruit, sell, train to recruit and sell. In a nutshell, of course, we work on projects and we do different things like that. But in a nutshell, that is what I do. So let's get this thing started. Today, 5 o'clock, and then we've got tomorrow, the Jonathan Brunasso training at 10 a.m. Now, before I get into the scripts, I want to have a little bit of a leadership conversation with you for 5 minutes. In talking to people, and I already knew this, but I can't remember everything. But as a leader, you want to look at what are some of the things that the team needs, right? So I have conversations, and I'm not going to hit what everybody needs every time. Does that make sense? However, I was having a conversation with two people last week, and they both had the same problem. And here's what it was. They fell into the personal development trap, meaning they fell into, JC, it's because I'm on 4, 5 trainings, 6 trainings per week. So I want to make something clear, ladies and gentlemen. Powur has a lot of trainings, and they have a lot of great trainings. We've got the Monday training to start off the week. We've got the Tuesday trainings with Jonathan Brunasso, right? We've got the market meeting trainings. We got the building with Bobby. We've got the gym bus trainings. That does not mean, ladies and gentlemen, that you're supposed to get on every single training. Some people are making this mistake, and I'm going to do a specific training around this. That's why we created the 8-point system. So let's say, for example, you're part-time and you're generating 8 points a day. Great. You got more time for another training. By all means, get on training. Now, I don't want that to sound like I'm contradicting myself when I say that, when I say things like training is something you do, not something you did. You guys hear me say that all the time. That is true. What I'm saying, however, doesn't mean that you're not supposed to get on training at all, but there's got to be a balance. Like, we all need water to live, right? That doesn't mean that all we're going to drink is water. So you're not only going to focus on training, because let's face it. And if you want to be honest here, and that's okay, because we're all learning, how many people on here have caught themselves at one point or another attending a little bit too many trainings and not doing too much activities? I want you to put it in the chat or raise your hand, right? Where it's kind of like, I've been attending a whole lot of trainings, but I haven't really been doing a whole lot of prospecting. I haven't really been building my business a whole lot. A lot of people are raising their hands. Guess what? Here's my focus. Monday trainings for sure. And you pick, maybe it's not Monday training for you. Maybe it's a Tuesday trainings for you. But I think Monday trainings and Tuesday trainings are pretty doggone good. And then boom, the rest of the week, let's focus on building. If you want to build a team and you feel like you need a little bit of a push and you want to join the building with Bobby, by all means, it's there on Fridays. Does that mean, though, that you need to be on Monday and Tuesday and then a market meeting, which market meetings are very important, and then building with Bobby, the gym bus training? I think that's too much training 1 week. Too much doggone training, right? I like to do personal development 30 minutes a day on average. So if I'm doing 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, I'm looking at 2.5 hours of training. If I am consistently doing 2.5 hours of personal growth of some sort per week, I am good. But guess what? If you're part-time, you got to focus on what? You got to focus on, okay, I'm going to build my business part-time. What is part-time? 10 to 20 hours a week. 10 to 20 hours a week. The majority of those hours can be training, man. If you're part-time, which most people are part-time, maybe 2-3 hours a week at most, right? But a lot of times, new people, here's what they do. They get started and they think that the training, this is called paralysis by analysis. Oh, I'm not going to do anything yet until I figure this out, until I know what an MPU is, until I know about the spam panel. I got some people that came and asked me about a spam panel. Have you sold a spam panel, JC? I said, no, I haven't. They're like, I've been trying to close this deal, but I haven't figured out how the spam panel works. I said, you should have just sold the deal anyways. I've sold a bunch of deals since the spam panel came out. I will get to that training. I'm not saying it's not important to learn it, but one thing I am saying is this: it's not going to get in the way of me doing my daily activities and generating my daily points. Okay, MMA. Who can tell me in the chat what MMA stands for? MMA. Now, I'm not talking about the sport. Money making activities. That's right. Money making activities. Who could tell me? I want you guys to put in the chat. What are some money-making activities in this business? This is all learning lesson, by the way. I want to really making phone calls, exactly. Door knocking, right? Sending invites, right? What else? Signing up ambassadors, yes. Promoting, presenting, picking up the phone and making phone calls. Bottom line, prospecting, right? Getting ambassadors, talking to people about becoming your ambassadors, collecting utility bills, scheduling appointments with a mentor or a mentee to close, training your team. These are all MMA activities. In a nutshell is this, I'll pick a couple of, right? Prospecting, scheduling appointments, presenting, and recruiting ambassadors and or consultants. In a nutshell, but there's more than that, but these are 5 that I want to pick. The majority of your day, if you're only working this business 2 hours a day, 80% of your time should be dedicated to money-making activities. Don't fall into the personal development trap where, oh, I'm learning this, I'm learning so much, but I'm making so little. No, man, no, and no, not edifying me. Edifying me is me activity, right? I appreciate the compliment, by the way. You want to be edifying me is not going to make you that much money. Now, it might help you recruit some people if you're going to put them on the phone with me, whether it's me or your leadership, right? But my point is, you want to make sure that you're focused on this. So I'm going to do a training very soon, probably next Monday, called the calendar training, where we're going to open up the calendar 7 days a week, and I'm going to show you on a part-time and a full-time basis how many presentations you should be doing all the time. By the way, let me know if my audio sounds okay. Who thinks that my audio is not good? Okay, hold on.
Sounds like an echo.
Hold on.
What about now? Okay, hold on 1 second. Testing 1, 2.
Yep, you got it now.
You're good now, JC.
Perfect. All right, let's get it going. By the way, I don't think the AC is working in my office because we just started blasting it and I'm sweating already, but we're going to get through this training anyways. Look at Lewis. You guys can see Lewis. Lewis is really sweating. Look at him. He's laughing and sweating, right? But guess what? We're going to do this doggone training anyways. We're going to go out there and get it. You know why? Because we're champions and we don't let our environment affect what we've got to do, because that's the identity that we've got. So let's get into it. So make sure that you guys are focused on money-making activities. Don't fall into the trap of personal development. It's great that the company has a lot of trainings. That's a good thing. You know what is a bad thing for a lot of people is that we have too many trainings. And then let's face it, most people are used to being procrastinators. I mean, let's just be honest. Most people are used to being procrastinators. They procrastinate on everything, on going to the gym, on getting work done, or whatever the case may be. And when you've got so many things on your calendar, that's just going to throw you off even more, right? So we want to make sure that we focus on MMA. So today, let me leave the meeting on my cell phone. And I'm going to turn on this camera here. Okay. So today we're going to focus on scripts. And I'm going to go through some scripts, but I also want you guys to go. I want the team to help the team. Meaning, what are some of the scripts? What are some of the lines? What are some of the things that you're doing to collect utility bills, to set appointments, to prospect people? If it's door knocking, if it's on the phone, if it's calling realtors, I want to hear it all, right? So we're going to get into it. So let me share my screen. So first and foremost, if you go to teamfreedomtraining.net and create a free account, and you go to the first academy right here, novice module, module 1, you've got all of the basic trainings here. All the trainings for a new person are here. All of the trainings for a new person are here. So right up here, you've got a Google Doc and it says scripts. All of these scripts that I'm going to share with you have already been here. So we're going to talk about scripts today, okay? So let's go here. So I'm going to go down the list with some of these scripts. And these are just some of the scripts you want. This is like the skeleton, meaning you want to make it your own. You don't have to say it word for word. You could say it with your own, you add your own flavor to it, but I'm giving you the skeleton. So we're going to talk, the first script that we're going to get into is contacting a homeowner to get their bill and an appointment, right? Now, this is mainly with homeowners that you know. We're going to also talk about, co-market prospecting, but this is homeowners that you know. Hey, Mike, after some small talk, hey, Mike, listen, I actually just started in the solar industry, and I'm super excited about it. I'm actually currently finishing up my certification, but I need to design 4 more solar savings reports and present them. Could you help me with this? Now, you don't have to buy anything. You just have to let me show it to you or present it to you. If you allow me to present it to you, my company will actually give you a 3-night and 4-day stay in Vegas. And there's no timeshare presentation, by the way. Side note, I like to sometimes say to the customer this: look, bro, I don't care if you decide if you go solar or not, right? I don't care if you buy or if you go solar or not. If you just allow me to present this to you, you get the trip, right? And I get a bonus for doing 4 more of these. It's a win-win. I want to make a scene to the homeowner rather, that I'm not. It doesn't matter to me if you buy or not, bro. You're just helping me out and I'm helping you out. It's a win-win. The company is the one that's taking all the risk. They hook you up with that trip. They hook me up with, once I finish my certification. And guess what happens when I say I got 4 more? I can ask the homeowner after I'm done, by the way, who do you know, brother, that is a homeowner? Let's say we do the presentation, right? I could ask a homeowner, by the way, Johnny, who do you know that's a homeowner that may be interested in this? Again, I need 3 more. Not only that, if they were to decide to go solar, our company will actually pay you $1,000 for being the ambassador, right? So helps me with my, they get a trip to Vegas. I get to finish my certification, but something that you get is that if they do go solar, you get $1,000. Does that make sense? So that's script number 1. Let's keep going. Homeowner to get the bill. This is another one. Same scenario, same person, but it's just a different script. Hey, Jen, and this, by the way, I got from Charles Thompson. Have you noticed, hey, Jen, have you noticed that your electric bill has been going up in the last few months or the last few years? Yes. Yeah, me too. Now, you probably don't know, but I actually recently started with a company called Powur Solar, and I'm now a certified with Powur to help homeowners evaluate if solar is the right fit for their home, okay, and could potentially save you a ton of money on energy costs. If solar didn't cost you anything out of pocket, would you be open to me showing you a solar savings report? And then you pause and you wait for their response. Whenever you're involved in sales, the person asks, number 1, here's a tip for you about sales. The person asking the questions is controlling the conversation. Remember that. The person, if you happen to be with a prospect and the prospect is asking you a whole bunch of questions. How long has your company been in business? Well, this long. What kind of panels do you guys carry? Do you guys carry, Chinese panels? What are the warranties like? Now, although they're asking questions of an interested person, that person is still controlling the conversation. So you want to get in the habit of asking the questions because you want to be controlling the conversation. Now, whenever you ask a question, here's what a lot of sales rookies do. Sales rookies, and I'm going to get into the Vegas trips, by the way. Sales rookies do this. They ask a question, and let's say, especially if the homeowner takes a little bit longer to answer, the sales rookie, or maybe not even a sales rookie, but a salesperson that's not very good, will talk a little too much. You ask a question, the customer is kind of hesitating or thinking about their question, and then you talk some more. Once you ask the question, you shut up, right? If solar did not cost you anything out of your pocket, would you be open for me to show you a solar savings report? And then you shut up. Wait, just wait and smile. Then when they answer, great. All I'm going to need from you, and guess what? Here's what you collect. Utility bills. Number 1 thing. You already know their name and their address, which is number 3, is on the bill. If they send you the full bill, their address is going to be there. Chances are you got their number because you just called them. You might not have their email. So most of the time with warm market, you need the utility bill and you need the email because you've got their phone number, the address will be on the bill, and you certainly should know their name, right? But these are the 5 things that you need to enter a lead. Now, would it be helpful for you to find out what kind of roof they have or their, their electrical box? Sure. I don't really collect all that stuff, right? I don't do that. I collect that stuff later. I want to get the proposal in. In the presentation, I could ask these questions, right? But that's what I want to collect. Then what you want to do is you want to schedule an appointment. So guys, then you want to go ahead and schedule an appointment to talk to the customer. Here's some objections that you may get. How much does it cost, right? Well, we won't be able to tell until we look at your bill and see how much electricity you're actually using and how much you're paying for that electricity. Also, the way the sun hits your home and how much sun exposure it gets makes a big difference. Let me get you a solar savings report and we'll take it from there. Simple. It's too expensive. And I did this a lot, especially when I sell, when I was selling in California, purchases. Now I sell mainly leases, but it still applies. Well, what if I told you that after the 30% tax credit, what you currently pay in electricity, you'll end up paying the utility company what the solar system costs in the next 8 to 10 years, meaning whatever the solar system costs you after the 30% tax credit, you're going to end up paying that much money to the utility company in the next 8 to 12 years anyways, right? Now, if you don't go solar, right, Edison, if you don't go solar, you'll pay Edison what the solar system costs you in 8 to 10 years, right? Or 8 to 12 years. Now, again, those numbers are for California. You want to figure out what the numbers are for your particular state. So when people say it's too expensive, especially those of you guys selling a lease, well, you know what's interesting is that it's actually not expensive because we're not selling you anything. There's not going to be any loan. There's not going to be any debt on your credit. You simply are paying your utility company this, and we're going to, and I always use gestures. If it's on the phone, I can't use gestures. I get it. So I use numbers. Let's say, for example, Johnny, you're paying $300 a month on average, right? We will look at your bill. See, let's say you're paying $300 on average. What if we could get you down below that $300 and lock that in instead of your utility company going up and there's no loan, there's no debt on your credit. So it's actually not too expensive. As a matter of fact, it'll be less than what you're currently paying right now most of the time. This is if you're selling on savings. I sell on savings. I've sold it all, everywhere from California through New Jersey and everywhere in between. Most of the time you sell them savings. And if you don't sell them savings, you're selling them a equal payment that doesn't increase over time, where they own and they add value to their property, right? So I'm gonna just keep going here. Recruiting invite. This is especially for new people. Hey, John, I just launched my solar business and I'm super excited about it. I'm actually having a grand opening via Zoom because my company, my business nationwide. The goal for us is to introduce people to our company, okay, and how much we save homeowners, and also to show people how to become affiliates for free. Those are key words, affiliates for free, because we pay $1,000 for any referral that you send to us that goes solar. Can I count on you to make it? This is for the person that wants to build a team. Let's say, for example, you just started your Powur business. You want to have a grand opening via Zoom, and you have your upline leadership to show up on Zoom, and you're going to have 4, 5, 10 people show up, and your upline leadership does a business overview for them or a Powur business showcase. You want to just get them on there. Notice that I say I'm having a grand opening. I'm doing it via Zoom because it's nationwide. And the goal is to actually have people introduce people to our company so they can see how much we save homeowners. But more importantly, show them how to become affiliates of ours for free, because we pay $1,000 for any referral that you send to us that goes solar. Can I count on you to be there? Okay, here's optional. By the way, for the first 5 people that agree to come on and listen, we're giving a free Vegas trip to Orlando, Cancun, blah, blah, blah. I said I was going to mention that. This is what I'm referring to. A lot of you guys know, smartsolarrep.com. Smartsolarrep.com, in a nutshell, you can get a membership for 7 days for free, give unlimited of these trips. They've got Cancun. They've got, I just posted on the YouTube channel like last week. They've got Vegas. They've got Cancun. They've got Orlando. They've got Miami. They get the full, for example, for Vegas, they get 3 nights and 4 days for free. They just pay for the taxes, which is about $30 a day. You can opt to pay that for them. So I just closed a deal last week. Well, I closed about 2, 3 deals last week. But one of the deals that I closed last week, matter of fact, was referred to by one of the consultants on here, Jeremy and his mom, Yvonne. And when we did that, they got the appointment by offering them a free Vegas trip. The person said to us, you know what? I'm not sure if we'd be interested in solar because we took on a lot of debt after we bought the house, you know, with furniture and different things like that. So I'm not sure if we'd really be interested in solar. And then the consultant said to him, don't worry about it. It helps my certification out anyways, and you get the trip to Vegas. It's a win-win. Long story short, we presented to him. The homeowner themselves didn't think they were going to go solar. Guess what? We show up, we present to them. They went solar anyways, and they got the free Vegas trip. I paid the $100 because it's for 3 days, $30 a day. I paid the $100. I don't need my client to pay the $100. I just made a couple $1,000. I don't mind paying the $100, but that's optional. So you could give unlimited of these trips to any of these places. It's beautiful, right? It's a 7-day free trial. After that, it's like $37 a month. I buy it yearly because I'm committed to it yearly, and you get like 2 months free if you buy it yearly. So anyways, that's how you get the Vegas trips, smartsolarrep.com. Let's keep moving. I want to take a little break, and I want to ask you guys, and don't all come off of mute at the same time. What are some of the best scripts that you guys have been using to get, whether it's utility bills, ambassadors, consultants, sales, whatever the case may be? Does anybody want to share?
I got one, JC. Something I like to ask is, what would be a good outcome for you in our conversation today? Just to kind of like break the ice, just to see where they are and where they can lead us, because then it's our job to listen and to guide them. But that's a nice one. And this is actually from Mr. Jonathan Espinal's wife, Emily. She's the one who actually told me about this. And I've been using it. It's been wonderful for starting the conversation. You know, when that awkward first, hi, how are you? Just say, hey, so let me ask you, JC, what would be a good outcome for you in our conversation today? You know, and then they would go into what they go into. So for me, that's been beneficial.
I like that. And that's also good for when you're recruiting or when you're sitting down with a customer, right? If I'm recruiting a real estate agent, right, and he sits down with me and I ask him that question, he may say something along the lines of, well, I want to see if there's a reputable company, because I've heard bad things about some solar companies, and I like to see if this is a reputable company for me to feel comfortable referring my customers to. So that's a great point that you bring up, Ramsey, because now they are giving you the ammunition for you to pique their interest. Does that make sense? Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else want to share?
For me, myself, here in North Carolina, I'd say that the local politics and the local state government kind of really helps out a lot. The state of North Carolina has sued Duke Energy for over $54 billion. Reportedly, they wouldn't have to pay that fine for their coal spill and suppressing the solar market if they would help us and getting solar by the end of the year over 70% of the homes. But as we sit here right now, only 11% has been done. So I'm quick to tell a homeowner, you know, after I start the script with, you know, have you, you know, the general question, have your electric bills been going up? Well, it's about to go up astronomically, 18% by the end of this month and 24% over the next 3 years. And why own your house, own your car, but rent your power and pay somebody else's fines?
Ooh, that was good, bro. That was a whole lot of good stuff. Like a minute, bro.
So that helps out local politics.
You
Can you
tell that
repeat
this
that
guy
last
has experience
sentence?
with that.
That last sentence, can you say that again?
My last sentence is, why own your home, own your car, but rent your power from a company so that you can pay back their deficits from, you know, what they get from their fines.
Right, and pay their fees.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. So I've been really into the Jeremy Minor NEPQ. I've been really diving into that stuff because and I bought his book, The New Model of Selling, because especially in this world, we all have our fences up, our walls to online ads, in-person ads, sales calls. You know, it's a new world that we're living in. So it's all about the neuro-emotional persuasive questions. And he's got a script. I was trying to share it, but it says the file is restricted. Have you sent that already, JC? NEPQ. Jeremy Minor made a solar script.
Let's see. Try to share it. Try to share it here now.
It says file by my account admin. I don't know if that's me, but but
I made you
Jer-
co-host. You should be able to share.
it might just be me then. But he also has a free Facebook page. And anyway, so the whole style is different. It's asking questions to evoke emotional responses. So like the first line is after you small talk. So it looks like you wanted to get some more information on saving money on your electric bills by potentially exploring solar. Is that right? And essentially walking them through and asking them questions like, so tell me a bit about your utility company and how do you like how things are going with them? And yeah, just asking probing questions. And it's like a whole different style, but essentially helping them persuade themselves. And I think it's a revolutionary style that I'm really, really excited to get better at.
That's awesome, man. Listen, there's a lot of ways to generate business, man. You know, being in this business now, in this company, in the solar industry, this is the first company I ever started with. For 3 years, I've seen so many people from different walks of life and from different styles that generate business. And you know what's one of the things that I find about the people that are consistently generating business? Even though they have different styles and different approaches, different ways of prospecting, different scripts, one of the main things is that they have consistency. Here's the thing though, no matter what script you have, it's gonna take you consistency in order for you to get interested people. Now, just because you got an interested person doesn't mean that you're gonna get appointments. You're gonna get X amount of interested people, then you're gonna get X amount of those people that actually sit down with you. Then a percentage of those people are actually gonna buy. The problem with most people is that they don't give anything enough consistency to show their results and their ratios, right? So there's a lot of scripts at work, right? So anyways, thank you for sharing that. And Jeremy Miner's great. I use one of Jeremy Miner's scripts on following up. And I've gotten in my phone, I don't remember, but it's something along the lines of when somebody's unresponsive, I write back, hey, Johnny, and if somebody knows it better, please let me know.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, I've tried to reach out to you a couple of times with no response, ... And then space. Where do we go from here? ? Right? I'm telling you, 90% of the time they reply. 90% of the time they reply. It's amazing.
Hey, JC, I'm going to post that script in your Team Freedom Telegram chat. Okay. So anyone who's in that Team Freedom Telegram
Post
chat,
it.
you'll be able to see that.
Yes, thank you very much, bro. Post it. All right, so let's keep going. So I'm going to get into another approach here. Let's see here. The warm market. This is something I teach all new people. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is in the fast start training, but every new person, and listen, I guarantee you, if you ask a company, if you ask Jonathan Bunn, who's one of the people in the company that signs up a lot of people, and the majority of those people end up getting at the very least bills and leads in the system, and I will be in the top 5% by far. Because one thing I learned in my network marketing days is find a script that that will work for the masses, that can be easily duplicated by the masses. Now, am I saying that I have the best script in the world? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that this is what I used, and this is what a lot of people on my team have used. And those people that actually make their list of 100 to 200 people that use this and make the phone calls, see some results. The ones that are the most coachable, because here, for those of you guys team building, which is a majority, most people are not going to be coachable. Most people are not going to be permanently motivated. They're going to be temporarily motivated. Most people are going to make 10 phone calls or less and give up. They're going to say things like, dude, you've got the results. You've got the success. I want what you've got. What do? Then you tell them and they won't do it. It's amazing. And look, I'm going to kick you guys with some real stuff here, because I don't just stick on my subject. I like to add personal development into it. Look at your trajectory throughout your life. Look at your people's and your family's trajectory throughout their life, in every aspect of life. How many of us know people that say, hey, man, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being unhealthy, of being this, of being that. I'm going to change. And they don't change. Very few change. So This is a script that I use with people. So it's simple. I go like this. Hey, listen, after the small talk, I wanted to give you a call to let you know I just got started in the solar industry. And look, I'm very excited about this. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 to 20 years. Anyways, man, I'm just letting you know, in case you know of anybody who either has questions about solar or anybody that may be interested in going solar, I'd appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. Now, I am reading it fast, by the way. So if anybody hasn't caught on to that, that is not the tone that I would say it in. I think some of you guys may think, well, you sound like you're reading a script. I am reading a script. I'm trying to get through this fast. So I'm not suggesting to anybody to read it as fast as I'm reading it. Make it seem like a conversation. And that is why you drill it. That is why you practice the scripts over and over. Drillers are what? I say this all the time. Who knows? Who can finish that? Put it in the chat or unmute yourself. Drillers are fill in the blank. Let's see if y'all been paying attention. I don't see nobody putting it in the chat. Okay, I guess you guys don't know. So
I don't remember, but I'm going to go with killers.
That's it. Drillers are killers.
Boom, boom. Took a chance.
Anybody ever do martial arts here? Anybody ever do martial arts here? There's a saying in martial arts, drillers are killers. Let's say you practice, they throw a jab, you block, you hit them with the hook, and then you throw a leg kick. And you do that like 50 times. Boom, 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 boom. When it happens in an actual sparring or in an actual fight, you will be astonished how your body will do it without you muscle memory. Your body will do it without your mind thinking about it. Now, if you don't drill it and they throw it, you might have to think of doing it and it doesn't come natural. But the body, there's something called muscle memory. Okay, there's muscle memory in the mind as well. So when you practice any script that you want to, let's say you're going door knocking, it'd be a good damn idea. What I used to door knock when I was 18 is when I started door knocking. And in 2020, I was door knocking. Here's one thing that we would do when I used to work for that company. When I was 18, excuse me, for about 45 minutes, we did nothing but practice pitch and role play with a bunch of different people for like 45 minutes every 6 days a week. Every single day for 45 minutes, we practice the exact same script over and over. So when we were on the doors, it was just natural. Then the other person would act like a prospect and say, and give you objections, give you questions. Give me a second. And give you objections and give you questions, right? So it's very important that you drill this. Now, I'm giving you a golden nugget if you want to be successful. Most people are not going to drill it. I'm going to give you another golden nugget. Now, I'm not talking about this script. Any script that you're going to use. I don't give a darn what script you use. Whichever one applies to you today, I recommend that you drill it. So record yourself. Drill it over and over and over and over. Give yourself 20 minutes to drill it. Say it over and over. Say it over and over like a machine. Close that door, Louis, please. Drill it over and over like a machine. Over and over, over and over, over and over, right? Now that you've done that, record yourself and see if you sound good. See if you would think that you were reading a script, right? So anyways, let's keep it moving. By the way, if they give you anything positive, let them know. I appreciate that, bro. By the way, our company has a very cool ambassador program where they'll pay $1,000 for anybody that you refer to as that decides to go solar. If they brush you off, just move on. If they're very interested, I would lead in to make them a consultant, right? But if they give you anything positive, like, oh, cool, man, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I'll keep you in mind. That's a positive response. I appreciate that, bro. By the way, listen, our company actually has a really cool program. It's called the Ambassador Program, where they'll actually pay you $1,000 if you ever refer anybody to us that decides to go solar with us. Now you're picking up ambassadors, but guess what? I am not worried about what happened or not. I am going to call the people on my list and I'm going to use, whether it's this script or another script, find a script that works for you and get it going. By the way, in this video is a video. When you open up this link, I've got videos throughout this link, different links. There's a video here where I train on that specific. Okay, this is the same script, but more from a business approach. Like instead of I just started the solar industry, like a job, I just started my solar career. So it's the same thing. I just switched a couple of things. I wanted to give you a call to let you know that I just started my solar business, right? I'm very excited. And this is what I'm going to be building for the next 15 to 20 years. See, instead of doing is building. I'm going to be building my solar business for the next 10, 20 years, 15, 20 years. Anyways, man, I'm just letting you know in case you know of anybody who either has questions about solar, anybody be interested in going solar. I'd appreciate if you'd keep me in mind. If they reply with anything positive, look at this. This changes. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm having a grand opening, right? Because it's a nationwide business, and the goal is to show people this is the same piece of the script that I gave you earlier. Here's a couple of aggressive approaches. And after this, I want to take a break and hear some of you guys. So if you guys have some of your scripts that you like, I want to hear them. Or if you want to ask a question about a particular script that you would like help with, hey, how do you approach this? How do you approach that? Let me know. Okay, and myself or somebody on here can help you. Let's say I'm calling my buddy John, who's a successful real estate agent or, whatever, right? And I know him. Hey, John, what are you doing tonight at 5 o'clock that's more important than learning how to make $100,000 a year from home? Or fill in the blank. It doesn't have to be $100,000 per year. Whatever their motivation is, how to replace your income from home, how to be financially free, how to send your kids to a private school. What do you, let's say, for example, I got John that says, bro, in my running my business, I make good money, man. But my wife and my, and somebody else, right? My nanny or whatever is raising my kids, not me. I don't see my kids enough. And I'm realizing that I make great money, but I want to spend more time with my kids. That is a big motivation. To that guy, I would say, hey, John, let me ask you this, bro. What are you doing tonight at 5 o'clock that's more important than you learning how to replace your income while being at home with your kids more often? Do you think that that would be something that would, at the very least, catch his attention? Yes, that would at the very least catch his attention. Does that make sense? Why? Because my job in recruiting is I just want to get people exposed to the information, the power opportunity. That's my job. If I could get more people exposed to the opportunity, the better I'm going to do. Now, I expose people to the opportunity, a certain percentage are going to sign up. Then a certain percentage are actually going to do something. And a certain percentage are actually going to stay long-term. That's why I'm always bringing new people in. I'm always bringing new blood in. Okay, let's take a little break. Who has either a script that you want to share or a question that you want to ask about a script? Unmute yourself. Not all at the same time, please.
JC, how do I get access to your scripts?
Team Freedom
So
Training.
these scripts here, go to teamfreedomtraining.net, and these scripts there are there, as I shared in the beginning of the video. So
Okay, I wrote that down.
yeah,
So they're all there.
teamfreedomtraining.net, create a free account,
Okay,
and all the scripts.
all right, perfect. I thought maybe you had a different account.
Yeah, no, that's the one.
I got a quick question about the Vegas trip. Since
All right, I got a
have,
lot of background notes.
Just a quick question about the Vegas trip.
What was that?
Can we if we don't have that account, can we send people to you and you send them the trip? Is it that easy?
You
Until
can
we have
send
our own
it. So
account?
anybody that has that account can send the trips, right?
Okay.
So,
okay.
Obviously there's not going to be somebody's going to say, oh yeah, just everybody send me the ones that you want to send to. They got things to do, right? So it's
Right,
37
right.
bucks. You get it for free for 7 days, by the way. So when you sign up, you get the first 7 days for free. Yes.
Okay, awesome. But for everybody, potentially their direct, mentor or somebody could hypothetically
Oh, yeah.
send one or
So if
two
you're
of their
working with a
clients to get them
mentor-
started.
Yes, absolutely. If you're working with a mentor and they have that account, the mentor could do it all day long. Like I got a guy that was going to sign up and for one of his customers that I'm mentoring, I say, you don't have to get it right now if you don't want to, bro, because I'll be able to send it to the customer, right? I'm helping you mentor this deal and we're in communication, right? So yes.
Awesome. And then my last question was about the new homeowner lists. Are you going to go into that for us?
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm glad you said that. Here it is.
Awesome.
Skip right to that. This is the script. Yes, this is a script that I use, ladies and gentlemen, when I got started doing the new homeowner list. I didn't do the traditional door knocking. I did a little bit, but mainly I did the new homeowner list. I got to mentor in 11 weeks, no solar experience. And I started knocking on people's doors, the new homeowner list, 2 weeks after the 2020 pandemic shutdown happened worldwide. The shutdown happened, if I'm not mistaken, March 16th. I was door knocking, visiting new homeowners end of March 2020. No excuses. It would have been much easier for me to start door knocking right now today. And here's what before I even get into the script, because some people think, oh, I got the script, I'm going to be successful. Then they're not successful. And then the reason why they weren't successful is because guess what? You were not knocking and talking to 20 to 30 people during the week every day. And then 50 to 60, 45 to 55 people on a Saturday, 6 days per week. That's what I did. Some people want to go door knocking for 2 hours and think they're doing something, but they want to be great. You're not going to be great. Greatness requires freaking effort, dude. It is disrespectful to think that you're going to achieve greatness and be a top mentor or make a multiple six-figure income working, some of the hours that some people are working. And I'm not saying anybody here in particular. I am going to say, however, if the shoe fits, put it on. But I'm letting you know, I went every single day, 4 to 5 hours, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 hours to visit new homeowners. Because you're driving, you're not knocking. You only get to visit between 25 and 35 homes during that time. I have a training specifically on the new homeowner training. I went 5 days per week during the week, and then either Saturday or Sunday, as long as it didn't fall on the Sabbath. If Saturday was a Sabbath, I went on Sunday, and vice versa. So no matter what, not only did I go on the weekend, I was happy and grateful to work on a Saturday or Sunday. Sometimes I work both Saturday and Sunday, right? So my point with that being is, when I would go on a Saturday, Sunday, my goal was to be on the field by 9. Frankly, I was in the field by about 10. I like to have breakfast with my kids, play with my kids, right? Back then, it was just Maximus. But my point is, by 10 till about 7, I was on the field knocking. And I was excited. You know why? Because I remember one guy on a Sunday says, hey, why are you knocking on God's day? I said, it's the day God's day. That's a whole nother conversation. I ended up having a good conversation with him. But my point is, I was looking forward to it. The thing is that some people, like, you have been ingrained, not everybody, but most of us, I include myself in this, have been ingrained with Saturday's the weekend. I'm supposed to rest on the weekend. Sure, go ahead and rest on the weekend if you're where you want to be. But don't freaking complain about your business not being where you want to be, not having enough leads because your butt is not willing to, be disciplined and work. You've got to be willing to do what others don't in order to have what others don't. You've got to be willing to do what others won't in order to have what others won't. I was willing to work Saturdays and Sundays. Now I have 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday if I want. I could decide to take a month off and make a grip of money, right? Just in overrides, just in all my M1s. These here are my active sales. You guys see that board? Close that door, please. So I don't. Oh, okay, that's fine. So those are my active sales right there, right? Those are my active sales. Mentor deals that I close for others or personal sales, right? That doesn't include the 30 to 50 sales weekly that my team does. Okay, doesn't include that. The 35 to 45 installs that they do weekly either. Doesn't include that. That is just mine. But most people are thinking, oh, I want to be successful. But so keep in mind, I'm going to give you the script now. But I went 25 hours through Monday through Friday using this script, nonstop, no breaks, by the way. Why in the world would I take a break in a 5-hour period? Can you not go 5 hours without taking a damn break? That's what I'm trying to say. People go to work for 4 hours and they want to take a freaking breakfast break or a lunch break or a dinner break. You've been working for 4 hours, bro. You can't work 4 or 5 hours straight. Like, take a break before. Like, if I hit the field at 2, I ate at 1, at 1:30. Then I went from 2 to 7. I'm not going to take a doggone break. There's no time for a break because guess what? At the time, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And I say, I don't deserve to take no damn break. I need to be, because I'm a father at the time. I was already a father, right? Maximus, right, was 6 years old. I said, that boy did not choose to come to this earth. My wife and I, we brought him here. It is my duty as a man, as a father, to provide for that boy. And I'm going to work my ass off to hit my goals. And most people are not. Most people are going to make excuses why they're going to be mediocre all their damn life. Not me. So let's get into it. That's why I scare some people. Some people, you'll see them get on my trainings and then they don't come ever back on. Nah, that dude's too nice. I need somebody to tickle my ear. JC, don't tickle my ear. Here we go. I knock on the door. I say, hey, how's it going? By the way, I'm always 3 to 4 feet away from the door. I get to the door, take 3, 4 feet out. You know why? Because I'm almost 6 foot tall, dark and handsome, short hair, dark skin. I'm not the most like non-threatening figure. I know what it is. I don't feel bad about it. I'm not offended by my shadow like this current generation. So it's okay. I work with what I've got. So guess what? I knock on the door. I take 3, 4 steps back. When they open the door, I say, hey, how's it going? My name is JC. I just want to drop this off. And I show them a flyer and I hand them the flyer. By the way, congratulations on your new home. It's beautiful. Pay them a compliment, drop their guards. They say, thank you. Then I say, listen, I just want to introduce myself because I'm actually the solar specialist in the area. And I help a lot of the people in the area. And I use my gestures. Notice my gestures. And I help a lot of the people. And I even turn. I help a lot of people in the area around here go solar. By the way, have you guys ever considered solar? That's the script. It wasn't nothing magical. So I'm going to go through it right now without stopping. Hey, how's it going? My name is JC. I just want to drop this off. By the way, congratulations on your new home. It's beautiful. They say, thank you. Yeah, no problem. By the way, I just want to introduce myself because I'm actually the solar specialist in the area. I help a lot of the neighbors here go solar. By the way, have you guys ever considered going solar? If you want a video to the training on the new homeowner list, it's here. I get into everything. If you skip to the 12-minute mark, I get into the script, but I get into the whole training. For example, I only visit new homes and I make it like 4 to 5 cities, surrounding cities, because sometimes you're at the edge of one city and there's a bunch of houses right across the edge. So you got to bleed into a couple of cities. Only new homes that are 3 months to 2 years. Why 3 months to 2 years? Because if you go to brand new homes that just got sold, a lot of those, they haven't even moved in yet or they're remodeling. So I find that the key is 3 months to 2 years and at least 3 bedrooms. And it depends on your market. Maybe you have to can't narrow down so much, but I would go 3 bedrooms with a pool. Only pool homes with 3 bedrooms, right? And then I pick about a 4 or 5, and in 4 to 5 cities from the last 3 months to the last 2 years, it was like 200 homes, more than enough homes. Because some of those you're not gonna hit. And then when I don't hit them, I don't find them, I hit them again the next day. Then I'll try it sometimes I'll start backwards. So, and I give you the app that I use to optimize route. I mean, the whole thing is there complete. But I did that for 11 weeks. In 11 weeks, I hit top mentor. I didn't know what an inverter was when I started. It was a pandemic. People were opening the door with a mask on. People were opening the windows, wondering who's knocking on my door during a pandemic. And I'm grateful now that I started then. But even then, I was grateful then that I started then. Because I remember saying in my back office, it was no leads, no sales, no people, no team. Now there's 1,800 installs. There's 1,600 sales reps. I've done over 300 sales 3 years later. When I saw there was nothing, and I remember saying everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in the physical. That back office is going to show a bunch of sales, a bunch of installs, a bunch of consultants, a bunch of ambassadors. We got like 10,000 ambassadors almost in my team. Total team, almost 10,000. And I remember saying, when I hit success in this company and I started during the pandemic, what's anybody going to tell me as far as an excuse is concerned? Now, granted, there are people that have some good excuses and good reasons why. I'm not trying to like not have any sympathy. That's not the point. But let's face it. Most people in any business are not successful because they're just not putting the effort, or they'll put the effort for 2-3 weeks and then stop. That's not what it takes, man. If you want to be successful, it's going to be the right actions consistently and persistently over an extended period of time. Right? So anyways, let's open this
Thank
up.
you so much, JC.
No
I
problem.
know you've got an in-person training starting right about now, but I wanted to ask you real quick, what's the app? Do you use Sales Rabbit or a different app? How do you get those
That's a
new
good question.
homeowner
No,
lists?
I use the app to optimize the routes. Find the training, go through the training, bro. But I will tell you the app. The app that I use is called Road Warrior. Road Warrior is the app, and it is an app that you upload all of the addresses. You put your starting address and your ending address. Usually that's the same address, right? Let's say it's your home. You enter all of the addresses that you download from redfin.com or Zillow.com. Okay, either one of those works. I think Redfin allows you to download a CSV file, which makes it easier. So Redfin or Zillow.com, and I just put in new homeowners, and I train you on that video on how I do it. Road Warrior. When I enter the leads, the addresses into Road Warrior, there's no names, by the way. It's just addresses, right? So when I enter those addresses into Road Warrior and I click my starting address home, my ending address is home, it'll optimize a route to send me to the first closest, then the next closest. So let's say, for example, it goes in a circle, boom, boom, the next closest, next closest, next closest. The last one, the last home on that route will be the home closest to my home. Because if not, if you don't use something like that, you're going to go from one part of town across town, back to this side of town, back to across town. You don't know how far those homes are. So that app optimizes the route for you, and it allows you to put notes. It's like $10 a month, by the way. You get a 1 week or a month free, then it's $10 a month. Super well worth it if you're going to use it. So let's say I click on this home and you were not interested. I would put NI, meaning not interested. So because I'm using the same list tomorrow. So when I visit one home, then I say, okay, here's the next home, and it says a note, NI. Great, I'm not going to visit that home. So skip to the next one, right? And then boom, I click on the next one. It opens up my GPS to take me to that house. Then I go, boom, and I put my notes in. The husband says, hey man, I'm interested, but my wife has a bill. Can you stop by tomorrow to talk to us? She's here after 6. I put the notes in. Interested, wants me to talk to him and his wife. Show up after 6. Does that make sense? And so it's about being a professional. One of the keys about sales professionals is that their follow-up game is strong. It's not just about acquiring it. You got to acquire it, but you got to also follow up, and you got to be relentless on these. Sometimes people will tell me they're not interested. Then I would go, 2 cars are in the driveway. The lights are on. I knock on the door and they're not freaking answering. Now, here's what I think. Okay, now you're not answering me. By the way, can you guys hear me okay? Because all you look frozen.
Can hear you good.
Okay, good.
We can hear you, JC.
Good, thank you. So it's clear that they're there, but they don't answer. Okay, great. I come back and hit them again the next day. They don't answer. I might skip a day or 2, but I'm going back because here's my philosophy. This is personal, my philosophy. I don't tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me fast because I got to go. Here's my philosophy. If the answer is no and you're not interested, I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy, Mr. Prospect. I'm going to make you tell me no. Because I'm a warrior. I'm not a snowflake. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape if you say, oh, you know what? We changed our mind. I knock on the guy's door. You know what? Yeah, you know what it is, man? We actually went with another company. It's okay. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Hey, Mr. Customer, you know what? I'm just happy that you went solo. That's awesome. By the way, make sure that they're giving you 30-year warranties on roof parts and labor, and make sure that they're saving you at least 50% on your electric bill, because that's the bare minimum they could do. All of a sudden, they're saying, wait a minute. They didn't give me no 30-year warranties on everything. They didn't save me that much on my bill. Does that make sense? So now I got them back on the hook. Well, you know what? Did they tell you, because it says in the contract that you're supposed to get 2 or 3 proposals. Did you do that? No, I didn't do that. Did you know that the contract that you signed says that you should do that, Mr. Customer? I didn't know that. Well, now you know. I can show you where it says that in your contract, and alongside I'll give you a proposal that I guarantee you will be better than what they gave you. And that's what the contract you signed says, that you should do that. And they're not giving you a 30-year warranty on roof parts and labor? Seriously? Now all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, okay, could you review it for me? Could you give me but why? Because I am relentless. Most people are not achieving what they want. And sometimes if somebody told you no, and you stopped at the first no, but the first no is just a knee-jerk reaction. You got to dig a little bit deeper. Now, if they tell you, I'm not interested in going solar, I don't even like you. If I went solar, it wouldn't be with you. Okay, that means no. Say, you know what? Fair enough. I respect you being so direct. I wish you the best, sir. Boom, and I'm off to the next. But anything aside from that, I don't let them off the hook that easy. And that's what I did. I was like, no, I work this list. Here's what I know. If I'm prospecting this, let's say this is my farm. That's what they call it in prospecting. It's my farm, right? I know that if you were farming, you're going to plant some seed, and some seed is going to fall on good ground. Some seed is going to fall on some concrete. Nothing's going to grow. Some seed will fall on fertile ground. Some seed will fall on ground that is not fertile. I do not know where the seed is going to plant, where the seed is going to go. But what I do know is I'm going to keep planting, and I'm going to keep watering. So that means I'm going to plant, meaning I made my list. Then every time I'm hitting that list, I'm watering it. I'm fertilizing it. I'm watering it. I don't know which one of the plants is going to grow. I just know if I do this enough, like the farmer, something's going to grow. Some beautiful roses are gonna grow. And guess what? Boom. I'm going to go out there and get it. You know what? For Ramsey, he was prospecting and he planted, and a beautiful rose grew out of it, and it became his wife. Ain't that interesting? You know what I'm saying? Ramsey could tell you about it. She's right there with him in the car, right? So you never know what's going to come, but here's one thing I know is going to come. My customers are out there. How are you going to get so many customers, JC? Imagine if in 2023 years ago, somebody says, I said to him, one day I'm going to have 2,000 installs in my team. I'm at about 1,800 in my team. Super proud of that. I remember before I had any sales, I would drive with my wife and say, every time I see those roofs right there, watch, there's going to come a day that we're going to drive random cities. And I'm going to tell you, I got a client right around the corner. I'm going to look at panels so much different. Now, I can't go to a city and not have a customer in that city around here. That came true. Everything's created twice, first in the mind, then in the physical. So when somebody asks me, how are those 2,000 installs, 2,000 installations in your group? How did that come to be, JC? How are you going to achieve that? That's none of my business. The how is none of my business. The why is my business. Why? Because that is a goal of mine, because I am writing it down and I'm making it plain, and I'm going to go out there and take the action. Where are all those people going to come from? Here's the answer. Wherever they are at right now. Where's my next customer going to come from? Where's your next customer going to come from, guys? Put it in the chat. Where's your next customer going to come from? I want you to put in the chat. Where's he going to come from? Let me let this guy in. Thank you, by the way, Isabel. The next customer is going to come wherever he's at right now. It ain't none of my business what city he's going to come from. I don't know what city he's going to come from. I just know he's going to come from somewhere. And all I got to do is this. One step at a time. I'm going to talk to more people every day with a good attitude. I'm going to get better. I'm going to allocate my time to training, not too much, mainly prospecting. And I'm going to get better, and I'm going to just be more consistent than the next person. Then before you know it, boom, first customer came in. If you could get one, you could get 1,000. You can get 1,000. Does that make sense? Anyways, I appreciate you guys. This video is going to be on the YouTube channel. That's why you got to plug into this, by the way. Any church-going people here? Raise your hand if you're a church-going person. I guarantee you behave better on Monday and Tuesday than you do by Friday. I guarantee it. You went to church on Sunday. I guarantee Monday you're way better behaved than you will be Friday. Then you get back. You got to get back to the hub, right? You got to get back to listen to the word, to get the Holy Spirit, right? And then you're going to be good on Sunday. You're in your Sunday best. You're feeling good. Oh, I'm going to be good, man. I'm going to be good. Father, I've been a sinner. I'm sorry, right? Come Thursday, Friday, you're not as good as you were Monday and Sunday, were you? I mean, let's face it. That's why you got it. Now, I'm not comparing this to church by any means, but this is training. Some of you guys are getting inspired right now. You said, man, I haven't been on this training in a couple of weeks. I'm so glad I got on there. That's why training is something you do, not something you did. But it doesn't mean that you only spend your time training. But this is the campfire. This is, what do you call it in a beach? The bonfire. The beach is cold at night. You got to be around the bonfire to stay warm. You get away from the bonfire long enough in a cold beach, you're going to be in trouble. This is a bonfire. Mondays and Tuesdays are the bonfire. And you should have enough gas in the tank, information to go out there and talk to more people. How many conversations daily? 30 conversations daily is the goal for you full-timers. You half-timers, part-timers, 10 to 15 conversations daily. Focus on that. All right, guys, I love you. I got to go. Bye.
Thanks, JC. Appreciate you.